Happy day, people. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Son of Encouragement Ministries. This is Al Webb. I come today to bring you guys a message. God bless you all. Glad you could be here today. I know I'm grateful to be here today myself. But I come today to bring a topic which is somewhat of a misunderstood topic amongst a lot of people, and I'm coming today to actually talk about depression. Depression. That's what some people may not understand as depression is when you're feeling down. And some people get the misconception that when you are depressed, that it's something wrong with you mentally. That you're mentally ill because you're suffering from depression. And that is definitely not the case. I can share something with you that had actually happened to me on yesterday when I was actually coming home from an awesome worship service at church. We had a great service and it was high praise throughout the whole service. But when I went to my car, I actually started feeling down, and I couldn't understand why. I was feeling that way, and I know there's been a lot of things going on in my life, as far as my health and things like that, that I've been worried about. And I think a lot of that has to do with sometimes our lack of faith and not trusting God in all our situations. But just to touch on that subject of depression, I find that I think there's like three types of people. And those types of people are people that are actually in depression or in the wilderness, or people that have just come out of the wilderness, or somebody that's about to go in the wilderness. I think about the old saying that a lot of the elder people used to say back in the day: if you live long enough, you're going to experience things that you've never experienced before. And that is so true, because life has a way of throwing us curveballs, and even God told us, Jesus told us that in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. And we hear those scriptures, and we may read those scriptures from time to time, but sometimes we don't take it in. We don't take it all to heart all the time. And sometimes we're going to find ourselves in some desolate places at times. So, and I think about the story of Elijah. It was in 1 Kings 19 in the Old Testament, where Jezebel did a whole lot of crazy stuff, and she had defeated all the prophets. And I believe Elijah was maybe like one of the only ones that was left. And God's hand was on Elijah's life, of course, because as we all know, Elijah was probably one of the greatest prophets in the Bible. But even Elijah felt himself going through depression. He felt defeated, and he found himself sitting under what they call a broom tree. I have no idea what a broom tree is, but he found himself sitting under a broom tree full of depression, feeling defeated because of what he had just went through, and the things that he had just witnessed, through what God had sent him to do, and I guess he just felt defeated, kind of felt like, hey, God, you're not there. But all the while, God was there. God was there to give him the power and the strength that he needed to overcome those situations and to be the mighty prophet that God called him to be. So the Lord told him to go stand on the mountain and wait for him to pass by. And this point is very, very important. When he was standing on the mountain, I believe it was a earthquake came by. First the wind came by, and I guess the winds were strong, and they were loud, and then the earthquake came, and the earthquake was loud, and then the fire came, and the fire was overwhelming. he was witnessing that fire, and he was like, oh my God, what is this? And then he stood there continuing to wait, but he still didn't hear the voice of the Lord. He thought he would hear the voice of the Lord in the wind. He thought he would hear the voice of the Lord in the earthquake. He thought he would hear the voice of the Lord in the fire. But then, as he stood there being quiet, he heard a gentle whisper. And in that gentle whisper, God gave him his instructions on what to do. But that speaks to my heart. And sometimes we get busy in life and we may feel defeated, but maybe what we need to do is just be quiet. There's scripture in the Bible that says, just be still and know that I am God. Sometimes I believe we just need to be still. Life gets busy and we have all of these distractions and we're looking for the answers everywhere. You're calling your therapist, which some people may need to do. You're taking medication. You're taking sleeping pills. Some people are turning to drugs. All kinds of stuff. But we're not taking the time to just be quiet, pray, and listen to what the Lord has to say. And in that time, when Elijah did that, in that gentle whisper, God gave him instructions on what to do. And the whole time God was there. But Elijah fell into the state of depression because I guess he wasn't confident that God was on his side. So I'm just here to tell you guys today, just if you're going through depression right now, such as I was on yesterday coming from church, I had to remember that God is on my side. He's there for me to lift me out of this. And it's not easy, but I know that he is there. And that's where we have to exercise our faith and believe that God will bring us out of whatever it is that we're going through. So if you're depressed today, take some time to get away from everything and everybody if you have to, and just be quiet and listen to what God wants you to do. So that's my word for you today. And I pray for anybody right now that's going through depression, that God would lift you out of that situation, and that he would bring light into your life and show you which direction to go and bring back your peace and bring back your happiness. God bless you guys, and I hope you have a great week this week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Peace and blessings. Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye for now.